Wanted to give you guys a quick update video on how my trailer guideposts are holding up. It has been over 3 years since I installed these. I've got quite a few comments saying that they wouldn't last. So just wanted to show you how they've been holding up to the abuse and a couple changes that I'm going to make. One of the comments that I see a lot is that the pool noodles would not hold up to the elements. And I would say that that is kind of correct. So it's definitely starting to disintegrate a bit now. It peels off super easy. But some of the pool noodles, like for being 3 years old, they're still in pretty good condition. Some of them are starting to flake a little bit here. This one's not too bad. It just has a bunch of bugs embedded in it from hitting bugs on the highway. But I am gonna take off the pool noodles. Someone recommended to use foam pipe insulation. Because it's more weather resistant and should last longer. But for 3 years of heavy use, I'm pretty happy with how the pool noodles have held up. And then the other comment that I get a lot is that this PVC pipe that I used is just too flimsy and isn't gonna last. Well, it's been 3 years, definitely is flimsy, but it also kind of makes it indestructible. Like people comment that they think it's gonna blow off on the highway. Well, I've been using it for 3 years and been on the highway dozens of times and I've never had any issues with it. Yeah, it's not brittle. I don't know if it's just the type of PVC that I use, so I'll show you what that is again, but when I'm trailering this, like my boat smashes into it all the time. It shakes a bit on the highway, but it is still as sturdy as the day that I built this 3 years ago. Rigid, non-metallic conduit, above ground and underground, Schedule 40 PVC, sunlight resistant. And I think this thing's superpower is that it's kind of flimsy. Because when I'm trailering it and I just hit into it, like it just bends out of the way. So, I mean, could it break off eventually? I guess. So one thing that I've changed is originally I had the 2 holes here. I connected it directly to where the lights are connected. I found that my lights were kind of blinking because the light's ground is against the metal here. So I ended up just connecting them from underneath, or one through here and one through here. So I just connected it there. So yeah, one thing I didn't like was having it connected directly to the trailer lights because it just made them flicker on and off sometimes, and sometimes they wouldn't turn on at all. So to avoid that, I drilled a hole down below here, and then there was already an existing hole there. And then on this side, I just drilled 2 holes down below. You can see the trailer lights, the ground wire connects there. So obviously putting some PVC between the ground and the trailer wasn't good for the lights performing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off the rest of the pool noodles and then put on that foam pipe insulation and see how much longer these PVC trailer guideposts last. But 3 years, still holding up strong and haven't had any issues with them. Little ASMR. Pool noodle is not in bad shape for 3 years, but the orange one's definitely disintegrated compared to the blue. I'm gonna be able to get away with just using one piece. So these are, it was a 6-foot piece that I cut in half. Gonna put it on there. And then at the top, I'm gonna use a little bit of glow-in-the-dark paint so that maybe when I'm backing up in the dark, I can just see those glowing so it's easier to back up. And then a little bit of reflective tape below it. So I'm gonna have glow in the dark, reflective, and then the foam pipe insulation for the rest. Okay, so that's what they're gonna look like now. We've got 3 feet of foam pipe insulation, and then I put 2 bands of reflective tape so that, you know, if I have the trailer parked at the side of the road, vehicles can see me from the reflection. And then I have 2 strips of glow-in-the-dark tape, which I'm hoping will light up in the dark. And then when I'm backing up the trailer in the dark, it'll just be, I'll be able to see both sides to guide where the trailer goes. And then I'm gonna zip tie this pipe insulation because right now it's a bit loose. There's a bit of a gap, and it's just like a peel and stick. So I just peeled it and stuck both edges together. So I'll zip tie the top, the bottom, and then somewhere in the middle. And that'll be it. There we go, that's the finished product. I got the reflective and the glow-in-the-dark tape from Temu. So it was pretty cheap. Not sure if it'll work, but figured it was worth a try because if it does work, I think it's a pretty cool add-on. But yeah, for those of you that watched the first video and were wondering how this thing has held up to the test of time, 3 years in, still sturdy, still attached. I'm guessing it's this PVC conduit because it didn't get brittle like normal PVC does. So eventually I will upgrade to proper guideposts or maybe the bunk style ones that fit perfectly to the John boat. But for the foreseeable future, these still work.